There was once a river that wound its way through 3 kingdoms. No one knew where it began or where it ended. It simply appeared in the northern hills, flowed through deep forests, and disappeared into the southern marshes. The people of the 3 kingdoms. No one knew where it began or where it ended. It simply appeared in the northern hills, flowed through deep forests, and disappeared into the southern marshes. The people of the 3 kingdoms called it by different names, each claiming it as their own. But one night, under a moonless sky, the river stopped flowing. Its waters stilled like glass, and its name, whatever it had been, was forgotten by every tongue. Crops began to wither, fish died in the shallows, and the 3 kingdoms blamed one another for the curse. It was then that a young wanderer named Eri arrived. Eri was a traveler with no home and no past, carrying only a flute and a bundle of herbs tied to her belt. When she came to the edge of the silent river, she felt its sorrow. At night, she dreamed of a voice calling her name, not her earthly name, but one older, deeper. It said, "The river has been stolen. Find my name, and the waters will flow again." Eri went to the first kingdom, where the people said the neighboring realm had poisoned the river. She visited the king, a proud man with gold rings on every finger, who told her, "If you want the river's name, go to the forest where the witches dwell. They are the ones who know ancient things." Eri set off into the deep forest. The forest was alive with strange sounds, whispers that came from hollow trees, footsteps that followed her but left no tracks. There, she met the Keeper of Shadows, a tall figure wearing a cloak of owl feathers. "Why do you seek the river's name?" it asked. Eri told the keeper of her dream. The keeper laughed, a sound like rustling leaves. "The river's name is a secret buried under 3 trials. If you fail, you will forget your own name and wander this forest forever." Eri agreed, and the keeper led her to the first trial, the pool of memory. She had to place her hand in the water and relive her greatest pain without crying out. When she touched it, she saw her parents leaving her as a child on a crossroads, vanishing into the fog. Her heart ached, but she stayed silent. "You may pass," said the keeper. The keeper sent her to the second trial, a desert where no wind blew. Eri walked for 3 days, hearing only her footsteps. On the 3rd night, voices rose from the sand, the voices of the dead. "Why do you disturb us?" they asked. Eri knelt and said, "I seek the river's name so that life may return." The voices told her the second part of the secret. The river's name is the sound of what you fear most. The ground trembled, and shadows took the shape of Eri's fear, a black hound with no eyes, chasing her through the dunes. She turned and faced it, playing her flute. The music tamed the creature, and the voices whispered, "You are worthy. Seek the final trial where the river ends." Eri reached the marsh where the river vanished. The air was heavy, and no frog croaked, no bird sang. In the center of the marsh was a stone altar. An old woman sat there, weaving a net of silver threads. She was the weaver of lost names. "Child," said the weaver, "to know the river's name, you must give me your own. Once you speak it, you will forget who you are, but the river will remember." Eri hesitated. Her name was all she had, the only thing connecting her to her past. But she thought of the dying fields, the thirsty children, and the stillness that had fallen over the 3 kingdoms. "I give you my name," she whispered. The weaver smiled, gathered the sound of her name, and cast it into the marsh. The ground shook, the sky opened, and the water surged. The river's voice roared, calling its true name, a name so beautiful that every living thing wept. Eri felt herself dissolve, becoming part of the river, her spirit flowing in every drop. The 3 kingdoms came together, no longer fighting, for they now remembered the river's name, Amara, meaning, she who remembers. From that day, the river flowed brighter than before. Travelers say that if you sit by its banks on a quiet night, you will hear the soft sound of a flute carried on the water. And if you whisper your name to the river, it will keep it safe until the day you are ready to remember who you truly are.